Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I'm doing an update for you on my rolling project pan. This is a project where I'm consistently working on 10 makeup items or skincare or body care or hair care and trying to use them up in most cases. There are a few alternatives where I am just meeting a specific goal, but for the most part, I'm using this project to try and get items used up and out of my collection for good and decrease my makeup inventory. So if you're interested in panning content, low buy type content, budget friendly content, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're into seeing some empties because they are coming at you today. And leave a comment down below at any point. Say hello to me. I love hearing from you. Let's get right on into the video. Starting with the item that's been in this project the longest, my Too Faced Born This Way concealer has been in this project since December of last year. It was weighing 64.82 grams when I rolled it in. Here's what it's been looking like over the past several months. It was very difficult to see any visual change in this product, so we've been going off of weight. Last month, I was starting to see a little bit of windowing. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 54.24 grams. In the past month, I reached for it 29 times, making for 165 uses total in this project. Today, it weighs 51.16 grams. I've used 3.08 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I'm happy to say that this bottle is now completely empty. I wiped off all the product I could off of the doe foot applicator. I took out the stopper and wiped out all of the product I could from there. And I even wiped out every bit of product I could from the container itself. So it is completely empty. I used up a total of 13.66 grams of product while I was in this project. And I'm so happy to finally have this out. It took me a solid 6 months to get it out of here. Completely used up. There's so much product in here. It's half ounce of concealer, which is much more than you're getting in most concealers on the market. But this was a beautiful concealer. I really enjoyed it. It had a really nice coverage. It sat beautifully on the skin. It lasted really nice. To get it used up, I did use it as my main foundation quite a few times and it worked beautifully. Just a one and done product. And I'm actually kind of going to miss this, but I'm so happy to have it empty. This feels like a huge accomplishment and I'm so happy to roll this one out of this project and just decrease my concealer inventory by one this year. So there you have it. Goodbye to the Too Faced Born This Way. Would recommend. Great bang for your buck. It is kind of pricey to invest in it at first, but it lasts and lasts and lasts, and it's a beautiful product and has a lot of shades from what I recall. Goodbye for now, but you know, maybe on a sale someday. I wouldn't hate picking this up again, although I do like trying new things, but who knows? So I'm glad we could start that video off with a bang. Let's get on into the next product. This one has been in since January of this year. It's from my Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and it is the contour shade in here called Sculpt. So here's what that shade has been looking like since January. It's been a very slow and steady progress on this item. I have been just wearing away at it, and pan has been elusive for quite some time. You can hardly even tell much change as we go from month to month, but it was getting lower. We've been tracking the weight on this. It was weighing 260.41 grams when I brought it in. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 258.94 grams. I reached for it 28 times in the past month, making for 101 uses total. Today it weighs 258.5 grams, so I used 0.44 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And as you can see, we finally hit pan on this thing. It feels so good to finally have a pan on this product, and it's a nice size pan. As you can see, I hit it about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, maybe a week and a half, and it's been growing really fast since then. I was really hoping to hit a side pan by this update. That didn't happen, but it is quite an impressive pan all the same, and there is a lot of product used up, as you can see now, just how low the product is all around that pan. So I think it's going to expand quite quickly, and I'm really hopeful to have this used up by the end of the year. I know it's going to take some commitment to get that done, and I might have to get a little bit more creative with how and where I'm using this, but I'm going to reach for that still. By the end of the year, I'd love to have this pan empty. Wish me luck. I'm going to keep it in the project for now. I was thinking about giving it a little bit of a break so I could work on other bronzers, but I decided just to keep the momentum going, and even if I'm spreading my attention to other bronzer type items, I'll at least still be encouraged to track this during those quieter months that I'm focused on other things and still make progress on it and get me closer and closer to finishing it before the end of December. So that one is staying in, but we have a nice exciting update on it, and that feels really good, and I'm really excited to watch this pan get bigger and bigger with all of you throughout the rest of this year. I did manage to get this pan out of this palette. These are magnetic, and so I was able to bust it out and compare this pan with the empty pan here. And I have a guesstimate that I have about 3.7 grams remaining of product in that pan. And with the amount of progress I've made so far, I've used about 2 grams of product so far in the first 5 months of this year. So it's definitely going to be a stretch for me to finish that off, but I am hopeful. Broken up over 7 months, that's just about 0.5 grams a month. So I'm going to have to amp up my use if that's going to happen. We shall see. Another long haul item for you. This is also one that was brought in January. It is the blush palette that I'm working on. This is the e.l.f. blush palette, and my goal for this item is not to use up the entire blush palette. That would be crazy. Instead, I'm trying to hit pan on every single one of these 4 shades in here. So here's what this palette has been looking like since I brought it in January. It was weighing 92.1 grams when I brought it in. I did hit a pan recently on that upper left shade, and then just last month, I hit a pan on the upper right shade, that pale pink. So here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 90.6 grams. I used it 31 times in the past month, making for 139 uses total during this project. Today it weighs 90.4 grams, so I used 0.2 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And you're not going to see much change since last month. I haven't touched either of the top 2 shades since hitting pan on them, and I've been focusing on those bottom 2, trying to get them worn down and, you know, eventually hit a pan on them. So I've mostly been focusing on this peachy shimmery shade. It's beautiful for spring and summer, and I will continue to focus on it as we go into these summer months. This one I've been reaching for more cool tone looks. Sometimes I mix it with the soft pink just to cool it down a little bit or just to make it a little less bold. But this one's going to be my challenge shade. I know I'm just going to continue to try and reach for it here and there, chip away at it. And hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have a pan on it. I can definitely see myself amping up use on this shade in the fall and in the winter. So do not give up hope on me yet. We have a long ways to go on this palette, and slow and steady wins the race. That is all for that one. Hopefully I'll have a more exciting update for you next month. I doubt I'll have a pan, but maybe at least a much deeper depression. And who knows, maybe a pan. That would be fun. There are a few places in here where I've gouged it with my fingernail or the lid or some other item once or twice. So I wouldn't be surprised if pan appears on one of those spots sooner rather than later. Next item, I have another exciting update for you. This is the Colourpop Lippie pencil in the shade Contempo that I brought into this project in January. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it in. It was weighing 6.73 grams. I've been making very consistent and steady progress on this item and wearing it away quite quickly. It's been such an easy shade to reach for on a daily basis. A beautiful cool tone pink, really easy to wear to work. Looks great with a lot of lip glosses and lipsticks on top of it. So it's been really a fun product to work on. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 3.74 grams. In the past month, I reached for it 19 times. Today it weighs 2.88 grams, so I used 0.86 grams of product. I used it 78 uses total in this project, and here's what it's looking like today after those 78 uses. And I've used up a total of 3.54 grams of product. And as you can see, it is gone. It's very, very low. It's the tiniest little thing. It's down to a nub, and I can't sharpen it anymore. And actually, this little bit of product has been trying to pop out of the top of the pencil, and I've been sticking it back in and making it work. And that is the best I'm going to get. Like, I can't even sharpen this again. If I sharpen it, it'll just sharpen the product away. So I'm going to call this one empty. I've used it to its maximum, and I'm so happy to have this one gone out of my inventory and just reduce my lip liner collection by one more. It's really getting down there, quite curated at this point, and that feels great. And I'm just so excited to have another empty in this project. So I'll also show you the markings that I've been making on this pencil in the time that it's been in this project. So here's where it was in January when I first brought it in. And as you can see, we've made quite nice jumps every single month, month to month, back to this last jump in the month of May, and I predicted it was empty right around here, and hey, I was right. So it's gone, it's empty. I feel great about that, and make way for more lip products in this collection, right? The next item is also a Lippie pencil from Colourpop. This is their red shade Bossy. It's a true blue toned red shade is what I have on my lips today. And my goal for this item is to use it 60 times throughout the course of the year, or 5 times each month. So here's what it was looking like when I first brought it in January. It was weighing 6.73 grams. I have been a little bit behind in my uses for it, but still making steady progress. Here's what it's been looking like over the past several months, making good progress each month, really, surprisingly for a red shade. Here's what it was looking like last month. I was weighing 5.15 grams. In the past month, I reached for it 5 times, making for 22 uses total. Today it weighs 4.29 grams, so I used 0.86 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And it is significantly shorter today. I actually have a confession to make. I did not use all 0.86 grams of product that is in the measurement. A bit of this pencil fell out of the packaging and fell onto my carpet, unbeknownst to me, and it created big stains all over my carpet. I didn't see it on the ground, but I did notice when I opened up this pencil that there was a part of it that was missing because it was fallen down below the packaging, the actual like pencil component. And I was looking around for it because I knew I had like opened it and applied my lip pencil like near my couch area, but I couldn't find it. I just thought it was lost into the ether somewhere. But then the next day I went to start vacuuming and, you know, do some tidying around my house. And all of a sudden I'm seeing these red streaks coming out of my vacuum. So my vacuum brush picked up the broken pencil product and then proceeded to rub the red product all over my carpet. Isn't that lovely? As soon as I noticed it, I stopped and tried to like clean off the brush and figure out what was going on in there. By that time, the bit of pencil was long gone, you know, in my carpet, basically embedded. And I tried to clean it up with like the makeup remover. I used Cinema Secrets. I tried to use eye makeup remover. I tried to use a dish soap. None of it was bringing it out, and I still have these red streaks on my carpet. So if you have any advice for getting red lipstick out of a carpet or makeup out of carpets, please let me know in the comments. I really could use some help. I'm renting this place. I mean, the carpet is old. We've been here for 6 or 7 years, now 7 years, I think. And so the carpet needs to be replaced regardless, but I just hate living with these red streaks. Maybe I can hire a carpet cleaning company, but I'd rather not. Save some money. Maybe I can just rent a carpet cleaner. I've been thinking about it. I haven't made any action yet, but it just happened recently. I'm still mourning the loss of this pencil and also of my clean carpet. So there is the story time behind that, but I'm happy I got at least 5 uses. I was shooting for 8, but hey, at least I didn't fall behind in uses again. So I still have 8 more uses in this next month to try and catch up. And because I lost a little chunk of product, there is quite a significant jump from last month. So here's what it was when I first brought it in January, and here's where it was in May. And you can see I made the biggest jump ever, but again, it's not true use. It is because I lost, I'm guessing it was probably a good little chunk, probably like half of this was probably chunk that I fell on the carpet. Bummer, but what are you gonna do? You know, makeup is messy, and I'm messy Jessie, and it's just not a good combination all the time. So I'm a clumsy person, and sometimes I make messes, and then it's a little bit stressful trying to clean them up. Are you like me? I think it's my ADD also. It doesn't help. I'm working on it. It's something I'm working on. Anyways, let's move on to the next product. That one will continue to stay in my project for the remainder of the year. I'm trying to use it 60 times. And wouldn't that be interesting if I used up the entire product in those 60 uses? I used up that entire pink shade Contempo in 78 uses, and I lost some of that Bossy product. So I think if I can use it 60 times, I should be very close to using it up, if not have it completely used up, because I do reapply this a lot when I wear it. It's like my main lip, and I'm applying it several times throughout the day, and that uses up a good amount of product each time I wear it. So that is a long story about Bossy. You'll see her next month. Let's move on. This next item has been such an interesting journey to pan. It is the lip gloss that I am panning. It's from Revlon. This is their Kiss Plumping Lip Cream, and it is in the shade Nude Honey. Here's what this shade has been looking like since I brought it in February of this year. It was weighing 11.25 grams when I first brought it in, and I have been trying to race through this product as much as possible, but it has been taking a lot longer than I anticipated or that I necessarily wanted it to take. We have been making good progress month by month. It's just taking quite a bit to finish it up. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 7.19 grams. I reached for it 21 times this month, making for 78 uses total in this project. Today it weighs 4.92 grams. I used 2.27 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. So that 2.27 grams was the remaining 2.27 grams, and I am calling this an empty. I have really done my best to squeeze out every little bit that I could, and I couldn't even get it at an angle where I could get out that last little bit of product that probably is sitting in that little reservoir there, but I'm fine with that. If I can't readily squeeze this out, it is an empty in my books. I probably could cut this open, but I'm not gonna cut it open. I'm just gonna put it into the garbage, call this one an empty. I used up 6.33 grams total during the course of this project, and I'm so happy to have this one gone. I think there is 7 grams of product in here, so that does make sense. I used a little bit of it before bringing it into this project, and there's probably, I don't know, half a gram still remaining in there, maybe less. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm amazed I used 2.27 grams in 1 month. I was just really going for it, really gunning it on this one and trying to get it completely empty, applying it quite generously and reapplying it throughout the day as much as I could remember to. I really wanted to finish it because I had lost it in the previous month for about 2 weeks. I lost a lot of progress on it during those 2 weeks. Doggone it, this is going to be the last time. I got to get this one empty so we can move on with our lives. And I'm so happy to have this formula out of my collection. It's not my favorite. It did work so much better on my lips after I was off of Accutane. It did not mix well with my dry lips. It's not very moisturizing, and it would cling to all the dry skin and all the lines and just not the most flattering. So I had to be careful with how I wore it, layer it over other lipsticks and lip colors for a better finish. But once my lips were rebounding from Accutane, it did look quite nice, and I kind of changed my opinion on it, but not so much that I would ever seek it out again or repurchase it, which good thing, because I'm pretty sure this formula is discontinued. So goodbye to you, out of my collection now for good, and I'm so excited to share another empty with you for this update. This next item came into the project in March, and it is the foundation that I'm currently panning. This is the Kosas Foundation, their Revealer Skin Improving Foundation with SPF 25, and I have the shade Light Medium Neutral Olive number 210. I will insert photos here about what this packaging has been looking like since I brought it in March, but they are purely gratuitous because you can't see much progress at all. The packaging is see-through, but with the way the product clings to the sides, you can't see any visible difference. But here they are. It was weighing 117.34 grams when I had first brought it in, and I have been using this quite steadily in the past couple months, sharing attention with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer because I really wanted to empty that one out, so it hasn't been getting my full attention. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 110.3 grams. I reached for it 16 times in the past month, making for 42 uses total in this project. Today it's weighing 106.46 grams, so I used 3.84 grams in the past month, not too shabby. And here's what it's looking like today. And again, it looks exactly the same as it did last month, but I feel really good knowing that I have made some significant progress on this. I think it's like right around here in the bottle, I want to say. And that means it's about 1/3 of the way empty. So if I continue to use it the way I have about 6 more months of use in here, but I know it's not going to take me that long because I'm ready to amp up my use on this one. It's now the only coverage product that I'm working on, and I'm hoping to have this empty in the next 2, maybe 3 months. This does expire in the month of July. I was hoping to have it finished up by then. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's mostly the SPF that we have to be concerned about with the expiration. This item is only a year old in my collection, maybe even less. Yeah, I think it's less than a year old. And for a foundation to expire within a year of buying it, I think is kind of lame. I know that's the whole marketing model, is that they use really like clean ingredients, not a lot of preservatives in their foundations and in their face products, which they say is a good thing, but it also makes the products just not have as long of a shelf life. And I was concerned about the smell of this foundation, and I was thinking it might be going off, but it still performs beautifully. And I went into the Sephora, I did some reconnaissance work, and I smelled several of their their samples that were on the shelf out for people to try. I smelled at least 4 or 5 and they all had the same smell and they all smelled like this. So I think it's just the smell of the product, you know, being a clean makeup brand, it just, makeup ingredients don't smell good. I don't know what it's made of, a bunch of stuff, but you know, it's not perfume and flowers. So, you know, no big deal that it doesn't smell good. Once it's on my face, it doesn't bother me. It's just like in that brief moment, I'm applying it with my brush and I crinkle my nose and then I get over it and I move on, but it's still working. It has beautiful, beautiful coverage. This is something that I have really kind of changed my mind about. I thought it was just kind of like, meh, but since I've been using it more and more, I think it does have a beautiful finish. My skin's really agreeing with it. And I'm not going to rush out and get it again, but I am thinking it's better than I thought before. I do have this on today mixed with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is just like my main coverage on my cheeks, but it just looks really smooth, really luminous. Also, my skin is like better than it's ever been in my whole life right now. Thank God for Accutane. Worth it. It was totally worth it, even though 6 months of side effects were not so fun, but this is not a video about Accutane. It definitely helps the foundation look better on my skin. That's all I have to say. This one's going to stay in with me. I'm hoping to have it finished by the end of the summer, and I'm just ready to jump into this one and give it my full devoted attention. So stay tuned for that one. Next item is a lipstick. This is from Colourpop. This is one of their Lippie sticks in the shade Button. And my goal for this item was to use it up completely. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it in. It was weighing 10.03 grams. And I thought I had a lot more product than I actually do because it's such a narrow product. There's less than I thought there was at first. And I actually flew through this item. So I brought this in just in March and it was weighing 10.03 grams. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 9.6 grams. I used it 19 times in the past month, making for 51 uses total as blush and as lipstick. Today it weighs 9.29 grams. So I used 0.31 grams of product and here's what it's looking like today. And as you can see, it is completely empty. Like I said, I flew through this item. I even was able to dig out just a little bit from the center. I didn't go too deep, but I did reach for it a couple more times once it was flush just to use it as a blush 1 or 2 more times. So here's where Button was last month in May and that is the remaining product I was able to use. So it's completely empty and just even a little bit more. So yeah, really quickly was able to fly through that one. And I'm so happy to call this one empty. I used up 0.74 grams total of this product. So that's all that was there. And I think that is so exciting to have another lip product out of my collection. I've really been trying to reduce my lipstick inventory over the course of my panning journey, and it just feels so good to get another one into the empties bin. It was beautiful as a cream blush. This shade is like a really peachy pink, and it was a very easy color to wear for spring. Really pretty on the lips as well, and I'm just so happy that it's now empty because it was getting quite old, and I just get to count it towards my empties total for the year. So say goodbye to that one, but spoiler, there might be something very familiar coming in soon. So that is my 4th empty of the month. Whew, it's been a good one. This next item is definitely another challenge item, but that's what we love about this channel is that I am never afraid of a challenge. So this item is the Bedhead Small Talk hair product, and this is a thickifier, energizer, stylizer type product that you put in wet hair and then use it to style your hair. And it's supposed to, I think, make your style last a little bit longer. I brought this product in March and it was looking like this. It was weighing 235.71 grams, and you can see that I'm using my thumb to show you the estimated level of where this product's at in the bottle because you cannot see through it. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 224.61 grams. I used it 5 times in the past month, making for 11 uses total in this project. Today it's weighing 213.79 grams. I've used 10.82 grams of product this month, and here's what it's looking like today. And here is my estimated finger mark. I believe the product is just between the word bed and head, just slightly above where the B starts. That's my estimate. So I think I have moved down at least like an inch of progress, or just almost about an inch. And this item is kind of limited with how much I can use it. I can only use it as much as I wash and style my hair, which for me is typically 1 to 2 times a week. 1.5 times a week is kind of my average, like 5 or 6 times a month. I really try not to wash my hair more than I need to, and I like to use products like this to extend my style so that I don't have to style it more than I need to, because it's just not my favorite thing to do. My makeup is my thing, and then hair is always an afterthought. And if I can get some kind of decent style in it, then I'm pretty much happy. I don't like spending too much time with it, but that has been a goal of mine over the past year or 2 years, just to take better care of my hair, spend more time with it, and it has really been making a difference in the health of my hair and also the overall look of my hair on a day-to-day basis. But long story short, this one is going to be another long haul item. I'm thinking that with this continued use, I should maybe have this out in 4 months. If I continue to reach for it. I had some people on here saying that this is going to be a very difficult item to empty out, and I know, that's why I brought it in, because otherwise it would just sit in my medicine cabinet for another 3 years and not get used at all. So I really have to force myself to reach for things like this, and I'm happy that I am, because my hair has been looking a little bit nicer this year. I've been using this to make my hair wavy, I've been using it to make my hair straight, I've been using it to curl. As far as I know, it's doing its job. So I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to finish it up eventually. But for now, it's staying in. The last item number 10 that I've been working on in this project is from Milani. It is their eyeshadow primer, and this came into my project in April of this year. I'm not a huge eyeshadow primer person, but I'm so glad I brought this item into my project because it has kind of been changing my mind a little bit. Here's what it was looking like when I had first rolled it in April. It was weighing 9.66 grams. I made a good jump during that first month of use. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 9.2 grams. I reached for it 17 times in the past month, making for 41 uses total. Today it's weighing 8.76 grams. I used 0.44 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I don't know how much of a difference you'll be able to see, but I was able to make just about the same amount of progress that I did the month before, and it's going to be a slow and steady race with this one. I'm hoping to have this empty in the next 2 or 3 months, but I think this one might surprise me. It probably will last longer than I expect, and I'm okay with that. I know that eventually it'll get emptied out, and it'll feel really good to have an eyeshadow primer empty. I'm excited to bring a new one into my collection. This one has been with me for so long, and I know I really like the Ulta one, and I had one that dried out, and I've never really gotten over it, so I want to repurchase that one once this one is empty. But drugstore all the way, and it really has been fun to use this on a more regular basis. I've been using it as my daily eyeshadow primer, trying to just use that and then put shimmers on first and then go in with the mattes. That's something that I've kind of been changing in my eyeshadow routine, and I really have been liking that just as like a quick eyeshadow look. Pop this on, pop on a shimmer, buff it out with a matte, call it good, and I'm ready for work. So that's been helping me just be a little bit more on time in the mornings. So I am converted. You heard it here first, folks. And another great thing about Project Pan is that it does kind of get you to fall in love with items sometimes that you otherwise just, didn't really give the full attention to. So I'm happy about that one. Okay, so wow. We have 4 empties this month. This just feels so good. And there's some really long haul items in here that I get to roll out. So it's a really, really exciting update. We're getting to that mid-year time where a lot of these items I've been working on for a long time. So it does feel good to finally get some things moving out of here. So that concealer is the first one. Huge accomplishment. So much product in there. And so happy to call that one empty. The lip gloss from Revlon, another one that was just kind of a little thorn in my side, so I'm happy to have that one gone. A lip pencil is always an accomplishment around here, and another lipstick. So hey, oh my god, 3 lipstick items out of my collection. That feels amazing, especially knowing how large my lipstick collection is. And a concealer that was getting old, and now I can move on and work on other coverage items in my collection. That feels really, really good. And now I get to bring in 4 new items, some fresh blood for all of you. I've given them some really good thought, and I'm excited to share with you what those 4 items are. So let's grab them. And this item is going to look familiar. Hello, it's from Colourpop. It's another Lippie pencil, but this one is in the shade Topanga. Topanga from Boy Meets World, like Corey's girlfriend. I'm assuming that's what this is named after. I bought it so long ago, but it's a very bright pink coral shade. Here's what it looks like. And I actually brought this in already just in the middle of the month as soon as I finished button. This is in my plan to pan for 2023, so I figured why wait? Let's bring it in as soon as possible and start getting use on it. I did draw Topanga in my book, so here's what Topanga was looking like when I first brought it in, and it's actually pretty on par with button, just actually a little bit lower, and it had almost the same weight as Button when I brought it in. This was weighing 10 grams exactly when I brought it in. Button was 10.03, so they're basically spot on with where they were at when I brought them into the project. So I'm hopeful that this one can also be used up in just 3 months or less. However, it's quite a pigmented shade, and when I use this one as a blush, it's really a bold blush. So I have to be very careful with it. I have to use a very small amount of product. So that's going to make me use it a little bit slower. And it's quite a bold lip color as well. Something I'm not necessarily going to want to reach for on a daily basis, but it's a beautiful shade for the spring and summertime. And I think that if I use it consistently enough during the summer months, I should be able to make pretty quick progress on it, just like I was with Button. Unfortunately, I'm not going to continue to be rolling this one up. It already started breaking on me. I would roll it up and it wouldn't want to roll down. And so I had to kind of like force it to go back down, and that kind of messed with the product a little bit. So I'm not going to push this one further than its limits. So I won't be sharing the drawing with you on a regular basis, but I do have a good accurate idea of how much product is in this component weight wise, and it'll be really easy to track it that way and just know how close I am to finishing it. The Button shade had 0.74 grams of product total that I was able to use. I brought this one in mid-May. It was weighing 10 grams exactly. I used it 12 times, both as blush and lipstick. Today it's weighing 9.81 grams, so I've already used 0.19 grams of product. So that means I am well on my way. I'm already like third or a little bit less than a third of the way through with that amount of product, and that is very exciting. So I shouldn't sell myself short. I think this one should be empty by the end of the summer. And again, another lip product out of my collection. We are chipping away at this lip collection. I am so excited to do my inventory for next year. Should I do a mid-year inventory? I know some people do that. I really like to keep it exciting from each year and like just do it once as one big inventory update, but let me know. Let me know if you think I should do a mid-year update. I would consider it if there is enough desire for that. It's just so much work filming an inventory. Whew, if you know, you know. Because I hit pan on that bronzer shade in the Tarteist Pro Glow palette, I decided to do something crazy and bring in another bronzer. This is also from Tarte. This is their Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and it is the shimmery version of that bronzer. So this is an item that was in my 2023 plan to pan video. My goal for this is to hit pan on it during this year because it's such a beautiful shade and it's quite neglected in my collection. I haven't reached for it in years because I'm always panning other bronzers. So here's what this shade is looking like today. I have been reaching for this here and there over the past couple weeks, just after I've hit pan on that other bronzer shade, you know, just trying to at least get a little bit of a head start. But I know that pan in here is quite a ways away. So I am going to have 2 bronzers in this project. I know it sounds crazy, but one's a matte bronzer, one's a shimmery bronzer. I can layer them. I can focus on one or the other depending on the look that I'm going for. And I think that I can hit pan on this during these summer months. I'm going to take advantage of this sunny weather and pan this in the appropriate time to pan it, and I'm hopeful to have that goal reached for my 2023 plan to pan and use this project as a way to get there. So this one is not a use it up goal. This one is a hitting pan goal, and I'm excited to get there. I think that I should be able to do it in 3 months, maybe less, maybe 4 months. We shall see. But today, this is weighing 77.5 grams, and I'm excited to see this one get worn away. You already can see that kind of like snake skin pattern on the surface is already starting to disappear. There is still evidence of it. I'm excited to see it wear away with all of you. So that is the second item coming in. And I know to have 2 bronzers in is a bit ambitious, but I'm a bronzer gal. It's the bronzy time of year, and I'm think that I can do it. I know I can. The third item I'm bringing in is a little bit of a gimme item, and I decided to allow myself that since so many items in this project are long haul items, why not bring in something a little bit easy? So I decided to grab a sample item. This is a primer from Smashbox. This is their Photo Finish Control Mattifying Primer. And it's a little tiny baby sample that I got, I think in like an Ulta gift bag or something like that. There's only 0.17 fluid ounces in here, or 5 milliliters. So I'm pretty sure I can empty this in 1 month. I might do it over 2 because I want to use this in hot weather. I want to use this on those days when I need a mattifying primer, when it's going to be really hot outside and I want my makeup to last and kind of reduce any extra oil and sweat on my face. So I want to use this strategically, and it might not happen in the month of June. It's just heating up quite slowly around here, which is great. I love this nice long strong gradual spring we're having. It's not something we often get around here in the Bay Area, so I am loving it. Definitely in July, it's going to be heating up more, probably by the end of June too, and I'll be wanting to reach for this. And hopefully I can use this up with just, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 uses. 2 months max on this one is my plan, and I'm excited just to have something easy in here, but it will still remove an item from my inventory and decrease my numbers for my updates. So that is always exciting for me. So that's number 3. And our last item is, of course, guess what? Another lip product. It's a lipstick. This is from Maybelline, and this is their matte formula in the shade 565 Almond Rose, a beautiful dusty pink shade. Beautiful for every day. Not the best for the summer, but I just need to have a neutral lip product in my panning repertoire at all times, especially when I have so many of them and they're quite aged in my collection. So this lipstick, I'm guessing, is about 3 years old, but I love it and I've used quite a good amount of it. So here's what it's looking like today. There's not a ton of product left, and I think with continued and dedicated use, I can use this in 2 months, maybe 3, and have another lipstick empty before the end of the year. I was a little hesitant about bringing this one in just because it is such a shade that I naturally grab for, but I just wanted to kind of work on something that was easy for me, work on something that I could use as a blush, could keep it in my purse and reapply with it. I can match it with a lot of different lip glosses and with a lot of different eye makeup looks as well. So this one will be just an easy go-to for me and will help me to cut through another item from my lipstick collection. And I'm going to continue to pan my neutral lipsticks as I go through this process because they are something that I can easily pan, and I want to eventually get to a point where I can buy more. I mean, I want to finish what I have so that I can have fun exploring new formulas without the guilt of having things in my drawer that are going to go bad or that are being neglected. And that is the driving force behind that. So I'm excited to reach for a new nude. I'm excited to empty out a new nude and just give this lipstick the love it deserves because it really is such a nice formula, a beautiful shade. No matter the time of year, it's something that I can reach for and enjoy. So there you have it, everybody. That is my update for my rolling project pan. I have 4 empties and 4 new items. It's such a great update. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up to let me know and to let the YouTube algorithm know that you liked it as well. I cannot thank you enough for being here. Definitely stay tuned for next month. I'm hoping to have more excitement for you then. Until then, I hope you're doing really well, and I cannot wait to see you in that next video. Bye.